screen. Well, pictures on your screen are coming to you from Karnataka. This is the Bellary district where the final journey of Praveen is taking place. To remember that Praveen was murdered by a group of men who were on a bike, and that bike, of course, did have a Kerala number plate. Two of those people have been apprehended. Zakir and Shafiq have been, in fact, arrested and sent to 14 days of judicial custody. But there has been a considerable amount of anger over Praveen Netaru's murder that took place day before night. And pictures on your screen are of the final journey of this BJP Yuva Morcha leader. A huge crowd over there seeming to gather for the final rites. This, of course, is being seen. All right, so pictures on your screen are of the huge crowd that has gathered for the final journey of Praveen Netaru. Now, there has, of course, been considerable anger in Dakhin Kannada over this murder because there are questions being raised about the security situation there. Now, this brutal murder, of course, has been followed by another one, and tensions are simmering in this area. Sagay Raj is on the phone. He's bringing us more details. Now, Sagay, we can see a large amount of crowd over there in these pictures, people wanting to say goodbye to Praveen, who was a BJP youth wing leader. All right, I think these pictures are coming from Mangaluru in Karnataka. A victim named Fazil who was hacked to death in Surathkal by 4 unidentified assailants. The incident comes just days after the gruesome killing of Praveen Netaru on the 26th of July. Now, these are pictures of the final journey of this young man who was also brutally hacked to death. The assailants are still on the run. They have not been arrested. The situation, of course, in Karnataka continues to remain tense in these areas. Mangaluru, particularly where this alleged murder took place, the police are still trying to get more evidence as to what happened. So pictures on your screen are coming to you from Mangaluru in Karnataka. Now, this, of course, is a murder that is very shocking and similar in nature to what happened to Praveen Netaru. Now, a 23-year-old man, of course, was stabbed to death outside a textile shop in Surathkal on the outskirts of Mangaluru city by unidentified assailants on Thursday evening. Now, the incident occurred while the Chief Minister Basvaraj Bommai was on a visit to the house of Praveen Netaru, the BJP youth wing leader who was murdered in a very similar gruesome fashion. Pictures on your screen are of the funeral procession. Now, there is considerable anger in this particular area of Mangaluru over this gruesome killing that took place. Of course, there is also tension being reported from Mangaluru as well as Dakhin Kannada districts. And the Mangaluru City Police Commissioner has said that they believe that about 3 to 4 people were behind this murder. They are on the lookout for the assailants. A case has also been registered by the police in this matter. Tensions, of course, continue to remain high in Mangaluru over the murder of this 23-year-old who was stabbed to death outside a textile shop in Surathkal on the outskirts of the city. Now, this apparently was done by an unidentified group of people. But this, of course, is the incident occurred even as the Chief Minister Basvaraj Bommai was on a visit to the house of Praveen Netaru, BJP youth wing leader who was hacked to death in Bellary district, in Bellary, I beg your pardon. So in that sense, both areas continue to remain very, very sensitive and on the edge over over these murders. Of course, Section 144 has been imposed across Mangaluru as well as across Dakhin Kannada districts over these tensions which appear to be prevailing. Basvaraj Bommai, of course, has said that there will be an impartial investigation into both cases and that the perpetrators of these attacks will be brought to book. I'm going to try and go across to our correspondents on the ground to give us more details in just a bit. But pictures on your screen on the left-hand side are of this gruesome killing that took place. I think we've got Sage Raj. Sage, can you give us more details in terms of the security situation? It does appear that there's a huge crowd at this funeral. Sage, can you hear me?
Absolutely. The situation seems to be quite sensitive in The situation in Dakshin Kannada district is quite sensitive, where 144 section is been imposed in several places of Mangalore after a Fazil murder attack was been reported. And later in the night, the police have confirmed that he had succumbed to injuries at AJ Hospital. And this morning, his body was being handed over to the family. As you rightly pointed out, the police personnel have been deployed every nook and corner of Mangalore to ensure no untoward incident reported due to this. A 144 section has been imposed, and even schools and colleges are declared holidays in many places in Mangalore districts. Even pubs and bars are being asked to not open today and tomorrow to ensure that everything is peaceful in the city. And talking about Puttur, in Praveen's murder case, the magistrate have sent 14 days judicial custody of both the accused Zakir and Shafiq, since police did not ask for police custody. As of now, the police personnel you will get to see everywhere in Dakshin Kannada, whether it is Mangalore, Puttur or Bellare, everywhere the security has been beefed up to ensure law and order is in place.
Absolutely. As you're pointing out, Sage, this has been a cause for quite a bit of concern, because the situation, in the Dakhin Kannada district continues to remain quite tense. Now, Basvaraj Bommai, the Chief Minister, of course, has promised that every single incident like this one will be probed. But the point is that, there does appear to still, people still appear to be quite on the edge.
Absolutely. When these kind of murders which has been reported in Dakshin Kannada district, definitely the situation is tense and people are on edge, and people are unsure what is going to happen next, because you see a murder 2 days back, and within after 2 or 3 days you will get to see one more murder reported from the same area, and people are worried about the law and order situation and why these things are happening. And Mangalore is not something new for these kind of communal violence or these kind of hatred crimes. It is infamous for several incidents, including in the previous incidents, especially when it comes to Prashant Pujari's murder, Sharath Badiwala's murder, or Deepak Rao's murder. And there are several incidents which was being reported where there are murders from one side and there is a revenge murder from the other side. But the police and the officials should take stock of the situation and ensure these things are solved at ground level, because the day the things increases every single day, the people are living in fear in the city.
Now, Sage, it's just the sheer audacity of these attacks that's also quite stunning, because in this particular incident for which CCTV has actually, footage has been acquired, it appears that these men had, black masks on their face. They continued to hit him till he collapsed on the ground, and then they stabbed him. So in that sense, there is obviously going to be a fear and insecurity amongst the local population.
Absolutely, and this particular incident happened in Surathkal New Market area, and if you see that particular market area, there are a lot of shops, a lot of shopping area, but still these people have executed the plan. And if you notice, they have covered their face when they came and attacked Fazil in the market when people were around him. And you can see them, he was waiting for something outside a place, and immediately these people come and attack him, and he runs away from that particular place, but still they chase him and hack him to that unless they see that this person will not be alive. That's when they leave him from that particular place. That gruesome, this particular murder was in Surathkal, sending shockwaves across the state, where people are already living in fear because of Pravin's murder, and this one is adding more fuel to the fire.
All right, as you're pointing out, it does appear to be one incident after another following each other. But what are people in the area saying? Have you been able to speak to them and get a sense of, what they want?
See, 144 section has been imposed in many places and people are not out on the streets in those areas. Yesterday when we spoke in Puttur, people were worried, especially the Hindu activists as well as BJP workers, stating that their own government had let them down. They were also shouting anti-slogans against BJP leaders. And when it comes to this particular murder, people are in shock. In fact, one of the Congress MLAs have already blamed Bajrang Dal on this particular incident, but it is all subject to investigation, and why these people are coming to a conclusion is a big question.
Absolutely. Sagay Raj is continuing to bring us details of what's happening in Dakhin Kannada. Sagay, do stay with us. We're going to slip into a very short break. We return with more news and we get you the latest in terms of the security situation in Karnataka.